Well, welcome to today's rant. And of course, history was made today in another tax reform. So what does that mean? What does that mean to us as individuals? Probably means we get to keep more of our money. Why were the Democrats saying this is Armageddon? It is Armageddon for them. They know this spells their doom. Now, they're trying to make every American think it's their doom, but no, it's going to be the doom of the Democratic Party. How could a tax reform bill do that? One thing, they've already doomed themselves. They've imploded. Republicans not far behind them, but at least the Republicans are going to be able to mark up. They got this done. Well, the Democratic Party believes fundamentally that they know how to spend your money better than you do. Now look at anything the federal government does. Do they manage anything better than virtually any American could do? They just started taking over health care, and how did the health care costs skyrocket for everybody? And now that's just the nature of bureaucracy, of government management. And the Republicans are saying, no, we believe the American people can manage their money better than we can. We want to return more of it to their pockets. Not a single Democrat voted for this. That shows you a lot about where the Democratic Party is. But this is going to create an economic boom they know will spell the doom of their party. You know, they're claiming it's just going to balloon the deficits. Not true. Fake news. It would if we were at a zero growth rate in America. Now, actually, the break-even point where, the tax cuts will be paid for by the increase in the economy or the greater economic progress that we make as a nation is about 2.4% growth. If our country's economy grows by just 2.4% a year, then it will pay for the growth, the income from increased taxes, from increased growth, instead of an increased growth rate, tax rate, will make up for any losses of tax revenue by the tax cuts. That's what is estimated virtually across the board, 2.4%. Now, the U.S. economy has grown at the rate of 3% for the last 2 quarters. This is almost unprecedented growth. And most experts, most economists, real economists, are estimating this tax reform is going to tack on at least another 1% of growth. We're probably going to between 4 and 5% growth a year, which we have not seen maybe since World War II. Could double the income to the federal government in taxes by not raising anybody's taxes, but cutting them because of the increased economic growth that does. Now, this has been proven before. Now, I felt the Republicans did a really poor job of selling this with the evidence that they had. Remember when Reagan proposed this, President Reagan, they called it voodoo economics. That's what his primary adversary at the time, George Bush Sr., said about Reagan's economic plan to cut taxes and raise government revenues. Couldn't happen. Everybody said that's crazy thinking. Reagan did it. It happened. It happened so dramatically, to such a degree. It was striking. It was shocking to everybody, except Reagan knew it was going to happen. He believed in market economics, free market economics. So, after 2 years, we were bringing in far more revenues into the federal government than had been lost through the tax cuts. They were made up and we were in the black. We were in the positive. Now, the deficits were so big there, we never made up the whole deficit, but it proved the truth of that policy, that economic policy, and this is what Trump is doing. Cut taxes and watch the economy grow and grow so fast that it's going to make up for any losses in revenue. Well, the Democrats know this. They're not stupid. But they are willing to try to deceive the people. And this is going to happen. It's going to get Trump reelected. I believe conservatives are going to be in the White House for at least 12 years, probably 16. Now, I think there are a lot of other benefits that are going to come from this thing. I think that once it's proven, because this tax reform was not near what everybody was expecting or thinking. It's good. It's better than nothing for sure, and it's actually really good in some areas, some places. But it was still a far cry from what we need. I believe in 2 more years, Trump's going to be able to do it again, while maybe cutting out a whole lot of unnecessary spending. If we then go out of government mismanagement and all of the waste in government, I think if we really went after the waste in government, we could easily balance the budget by the end of Trump's second term. Easily. Be back in the black, start paying off those $20 trillion debt. And I think that would only strengthen our economy and the world's economy. Because, how much better? Right now, we're paying over a third of our deficits are paying the interest on our debt. If we start paying down the debt, we're going to have much lower interest costs and more money, can put more money back in the people's pockets. And I don't believe in giving the government 1 penny more than they're getting now for a long time to come. I think we make them get more efficient. And right now, no federal government employee is compelled towards excellence. They're not rewarded for excellence. They're not punished for incompetence. That needs to change. So I'm just saying, I think that we're on the beginning, and the Democrats know this is Armageddon for them. This is going to cost them the White House for a long time to come. Will probably cost them the Senate and the Congress. Just the fact that none of them were a party to this. When people start getting bigger paychecks or keeping more of their money, less being paid out, I tell you, it's going to make a huge difference. But we're going to see it make a huge difference in even better ways as the economy grows. So, that being said, have a great Christmas season. Merry Christmas. And this new year, happy is not the word. A joyful, full of joy new year. This is going to be our best year yet. One coming. 2017 was awesome. 2018 is going to get a lot better. Now we're, our New Year conference where we celebrate the previous year and we seek the Lord for a word and for direction for the coming year, both for us as a ministry, for a nation, and for every individual that comes. Well, we're already maxed out. We're packed out, have been for a long time, our New Year's conference. That's one of our favorite conferences of the year. A lot of people come every year. We've got an incredible lineup of speakers and people that are going to be here, but the Lord comes to this. Well, if you weren't in time, couldn't get into this one, February 8th through 10th, we're having an advanced prophetic conference that is also selling out pretty quick. Get into that one. I think we're going to see that become an actual demarcation. I think we're going to be able to point back to those dates and say the prophetic ministry took a turn on those dates in the right direction. There's major change coming after that. So if you can possibly make it, especially if you're a prophetically gifted person, be at that advanced prophetic conference in February. So just wanted to mention those to you. But also, don't waste this opportunity when everybody's singing about Jesus, about his birth, celebrating his birth. Celebrate his birth. Not just holidays. Celebrate the coming of the King and all that meant for us and means for everybody else who will honor and celebrate him. Thank you so much for joining today's rant.